What is the one thing that you should be doing today in order to make millions of dollars on Etsy? Delayed gratification. I have made a ton of money on the Etsy platform. At this point, it's well over $1 million in profit. And what this has done is that this has funded other cash producing investments that has gotten us to a place of financial freedom in our early 30s. And there is one main key that has gotten us to that point, and it is delayed gratification. If you can work really hard, really consistently, and practice delayed gratification at the same time, then you can make millions on Etsy. And not only can you make millions, but you can keep it and you can grow it. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to apply this principle to your life and to your Etsy business in order to get you closer to that $1 million profit as quickly as possible. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan Jarrus, and I am an Etsy shop owner of almost 7 years. I've made over $1.4 million in revenue on the platform, and that's over $1 million in profit. I also sell on Amazon and Shopify, and my entire corporate background is in e-commerce. I live in Southern California with my 2 kids and my husband, and now I teach Etsy sellers just like you how to build multi-six-figure Etsy shops with my program, the Multi-Six-Figure Etsy Blueprint. So delayed gratification. Let me explain how this plays out. So my profit from my Etsy business is $25,000 to $35,000 a month after all of the costs and fees associated. And this has been happening for years now, very consistently for us. So that's the Etsy channel. But in total, combined, my husband and I bring in over 6 figures every month. And what has gotten us to this point financially and with Etsy is delayed gratification. And we do this to a very extreme level. We literally live like we are on a $30,000 combined salary. Remember, the ways to grow your wealth are to either make more money or to save more money. So why not do them both at the same time, perhaps to an extreme level? Okay, so let's talk saving money. So we live in San Diego, California, and our mortgage on our home is only $2,000 a month. I drive a 2013 Hyundai Elantra, so a compact car that's like 10 years old, and my husband drives a 2010 Chevy Silverado truck, so that's over 10 years old. So just because we make a lot of money, it doesn't mean we're going out and buying new cars. Our entire family, we all eat peanut butter and jelly for lunch almost every day. We save up all of our soda cans just to get that 6-cent redemption back from the state of California. I literally wear clothes from like 15 to 17 years ago. And we shop at thrift stores for our children. We usually make our coffee at home instead of going to Starbucks every day. Every time we shop online, we use shopping portals to get cash back. And we really don't buy something unless either A, something breaks, or B, we find something that will either help us save time or make more money. And you guys, another part of this is that spending money takes time and energy. And you can either put that time and energy into spending money, or you could put it into making money. Okay, so now let's talk making money. And this is where Etsy comes in. So Etsy can be an incredible source of cash flow to grow your wealth. And it will be that way even more so if you are willing to practice extreme delayed gratification while you're building your business. So here are 4 ways to practice delayed gratification with your Etsy business. Number 1, persist with patience. During the process of building their shop, many Etsy sellers want immediate results. So they will test a strategy, and then if they don't see results from that strategy within a week, they will bounce to the next strategy and they'll say, oh, that one didn't work for me. So they're starting and they're stopping and they're starting and they're stopping without actually completing, a full lap of this race. And if those Etsy sellers were patient and willing to push past what's called the dip, they would see much different results. So you need to be willing to just work your butt off without seeing results for like 1 to 2 months. And you might be thinking, well, how do I survive if I'm working and I'm not making money? Okay, humble yourself, start cleaning houses, start driving Uber, start dog walking or house sitting, wash cars, mow lawns, or do grocery delivery. It's only short term. So I walked dogs through rover.com to earn an extra $1,000 to $2,000 per month while I was building my Etsy shop. And I did this all the way until I got my Etsy shop to a place where it was doing $15,000 a month consistently. The second way to practice delayed delayed gratification with your Etsy shop is to stay lean as long as possible. So as a small business, you have a huge advantage. Big e-commerce businesses, they're like big ships. It's really hard to turn a big ship, and they take a lot of resources to keep going. But instead, as a small business, as an Etsy shop, you are like a jet ski out there, right? You are agile. And the longer you can keep your business running lean, the more agile you'll be. So I see so many Etsy shops who start making a lot of money. They start to inflate their expenses and their overhead to reflect that. So they buy the cool new desk, they buy the fancy office decor, they start replacing equipment with new equipment, even though the old equipment's not broken yet. They start spending on a lot of promotional freebies to put in all their packages, and they start spending a lot of money on ads when maybe they're not an expert yet on how to run ads. So as their revenue goes up, their expenses go up at the same rate, and oftentimes even at a higher rate. So instead, I challenge you to keep your revenue climbing while keeping your expenses in a steady state as much as possible. Every time you invest in your business, ask yourself, will this help me make money or will this help me save money? And if the answer is no, then don't spend it. Another expense to keep lean is with personnel. So this does not mean doing everything yourself for longer than you should be. But this does mean, structuring your business entity and your employment structures in a way that is business owner friendly and allows your business to expand and contract without heavy repercussions. The next way to practice delayed gratification with your Etsy shop is to put your Etsy cash flow to work. So you guys, lifestyle inflation is a thing. I see so many small business owners, Etsy shop owners, start making, $20,000 to $30,000 a month. And within a couple months, you see they go out and buy a new car. They went out and splurged on something that loses value within 5 minutes of the transaction. It's really hard to even call it an investment at that point. So instead, do something with that Etsy cash flow that will make it grow and grow and grow. Some people push and recommend reinvesting that money back into your business. But if there's not a clear path to do that to get an ROI, don't feel pressure from that expectation. So reinvest into your business at a level that makes sense, depending on how cash intensive your business is. And then diversify your income and plant seeds with new revenue streams. So that's what we do with residential real estate and the stock market. Just make sure that you invest in something that you know and understand. So delayed gratification is not just with your financial resources, but it's also with your time resources. I want you to be willing to not watch TV for years in order to make your business succeed and to gain financial freedom. I want you to be willing to work 2 hours later and wake up 1 hour earlier than your competition. And not just once or twice a month, but every day. I want you to be willing to come home from a dinner out with your husband and to take the time to do your customer nurturing Instagram posts instead of just turning on the TV and getting a bucket of ice cream. And really, this delay is being willing to delay what a lot of people deem as having balance in your life. And it's really a willingness to heavily prioritize your business and growing this thing to get it off the ground until you can get into what I call the marathon phase of your business and out of that sprinting phase. And that's a sacrifice. Your social life will suffer. You won't know what's going on in pop culture. You'll listen to books instead of reading books. And any free time is now profitable action step time. So is this extreme? Yes, absolutely. But this video is about making millions on a very competitive marketplace. And in order to do that in the most direct path possible, you cannot afford to be spending your time doing the wrong things. And remember, this is all about short-term sacrifices. Delayed gratification is not a forever thing. And if you can really do this consistently, you will reap the benefits faster and faster. So for example, the other day, my husband and I looked at each other and we realized, wow, we don't know anyone who is doing what we're doing or who is willing to do what we're willing to do right now. I mean, we're in our early 30s and we obtained over $2 million of Southern California real estate in the span of 4 years. We maxed out our retirement plans, and we've realized that because we practiced delayed gratification from really day one of our relationship, we had built a life of total financial freedom without any of it being handed to us. So in the end, yes, this is delayed gratification, but the result is very gratifying. And not only the result, but the process itself starts to become extremely gratifying as well. Because while you're implementing these things, you know that you are doing what others are not willing to do so that you can have a life that they won't have. So as we're starting a new year, I really challenge you to implement delayed gratification in your Etsy business, in your life, with your cash flow. Remember that the way to grow your wealth is to save more money or to make more money. So why not do them both at the same time? Commit yourself to that this year. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. If you want to connect, you can find me over on Instagram at Dylan Jarvis. And if you're interested in my program, the Multi-Six-Figure Etsy Blueprint, where where I teach you my exact blueprint to building a multi-six-figure Etsy shop, send me a message. We can chat more about what that looks like. All right, I'll see you in the next video.